Hi, this is Roderick from Toy Masters Video Magazine. I'm still here at Comic-Con at the Jacob Javits Convention Center for 2014 in New York City. I'm here with the cast from Star Trek Equinox, Mr.John Savage and Blanca Blanco. I'll get it, don't worry. Now they're here to talk about Star Trek Equinox, what's going to be going on with it, what's happening, if it's going to be a series. That's what they're trying to work on to get it to be a series on regular TV, right?
Yeah.
Cool. There you go.
Yeah, hi, I'm John Savage, and thank you very much for letting us talk about this, because I think, like Blanca and I have been involved with this for a while. We've shot some of it on geared for production level for television, and the fan films and things that are out, as much as I like them. This would be more of a taking the episode from Voyager where Equinox crew was saved by Captain Janeway, and I went back to my ship and the ship was exploded, as we find out in our opening episode by the aliens that I was criticized for using as fuel, which I didn't know at the time were life forms. They actually are now followed us through that black hole. In this episode we start with, they take me from the ship before exploding it. In that process, I am kept prisoner for 15 years, till recently, where we filmed the episode where I'm saved by another class I found, and as this working I've done for this crew in this new quadrant for them. They've been taking advantage of different things, trying to keep them from hurting or harming too much in my quadrant that I live. I've been able to manipulate and learn about their ship, and eventually with a new available wormhole for time and warped space-time, I'm able to get into a pod, make my escape. They try to fire and follow me, and they do follow me through the wormhole, but they explode the ship, that little pod that I'm in. Just before it's exploded, I'm saved.
We don't want to share the whole thing.
I'm beamed into another ship, and that ship is 2 generations before mine. So this captain, she's a Vulcan, not really sure who I am.
Yeah, well, we want the fans to watch it, so we're not gonna give you guys everything. But I'm the Vulcan, and so it's great because we have a captain that is very, emotional.
The
emotional, and then I am very logical. So like to have the scenes was great because we had a contrast. So then that created a conflict even bigger. So it was great. We shot here in the little town. I can't think of the name. What is it?
Ticonderoga, upstate where Fort Ticonderoga is. There's a great film studio.
Yeah, so
which fans are invited to, which actually created by a great executive there, James Crawley, who we are now partners with. And he's been making fan films out of that studio and invites fans to come up and check out the sets, which are great. They actually work. You're not allowed to take off and fly, but the functioning in the studio is it's amazing to me.
Yeah, it's a professional studio, and you see everything that you see on Star Trek. So we're gonna, it's just like nice to be in that environment because it really gets you in character easier when it's not a green screen. It's like a real spaceship, a real set.
I would like to see young people and families have a show like this where they can actually see all different kinds of living things and beings from the viewpoint of being in space, even reflecting back on Earth in some situations that maybe need to be considered, or in space with other areas of the universe that may have similar subjects. So instead of turning on a news or necessarily having to live with that image, we can deal with some subjects perhaps through stories, like fairy tales are sometimes set in situations that we can really use in our lives. So that for me is my goal is to be involved with a family-oriented television show that deals with our issues in our daily lives.
So you're doing like Gene Roddenberry was doing during the '60s, dealing with today's type subjects in the future.
Well, a lot of things that worked then will work now. I have a feeling, we have areas of civil rights that need to be checked out. We have a lot of issues that we're seeing on the news that are just, as far as I'm concerned, is exploitive. It's exploitive, just violent images of people that have more stories behind it. whether they're whatever race they are, whatever position of authority they have, whatever economic position. There's a lot more things going on than people get just from the flashing exploitation of violence on the news. So whatever that may actually, they say psychologically, it makes people go out and buy more stuff when they get depressed or they get anxiety. I think that may be an abuse of our time. We could be watching good stories where it would help us and our families and children to deal with the situations we're facing today, same as we did in the 60s, where kids actually helped us with that, with demonstrations that were peaceful, and music, and art, which this is a part of. So I'm looking forward to telling more stories.
Yeah, so we're just excited to be here, meeting fans from all over the country. And we're also on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook. If you want to reach me at Blanca Blanco on Twitter, and then Real John Savage on Twitter, and then just Google our names, Blanca Blanco or John Savage, and it will connect you to our social media. So we had a panel discussion a couple days ago, and it was a success. We had a packed room, and they turned away a lot of fans, so we were really bummed about that.
Yeah.
But it was good to be able to meet with the people that were in the room, and just to be able to share our new project, and we're just moving forward.
If you speak Spanish, este es importante para mí. Habla español. Blanca, if you Twitter Blanca, she speaks Spanish very well.
Yeah, Spanish is my first language.
Now, question. Will you also be having cast from Voyager coming on to the show?
Oh yes, we do have. We have about 4 cast members from Star Trek, the original. We have John
Different stories involving different characters.
Yeah.
This young man is no longer an ensign. He is a captain. And,
we have Gary Wong. We have John Savage from Voyager. We have Gary Lockwood. He was in the original Star Trek. And so we're and then we also have another person, but I cannot disclose his name yet. So we're just pretty much, it's nice to have cast members from Star Trek, because I grew up watching Star Trek in Washington State.
Now, will you also be having any of the villains, like the Klingons or anybody else like that, coming onto the show?
Everything that you've known about is included in episodes that are pretty much written for a full season already. And that will be further developed. I mean, we have stories that, like even with Gary, coming back from actually where he was sent out, coming into the story from that position of being, for years, like myself, away, but having to deal with the issue of being possessed by an alien. Now today they got medication and therapy for that, but the idea that this is actually crossing over for how does he accept or live with this situation, and where he is found or been helped by the computer system and feeding information to him as he is away, because he was very violent at the point of his possession. He could actually hurt people on the ship, so they couldn't help him at that time. They had to send him out, and he lives, and that's an issue that's brought up in one of the episodes that I really love, because it deals with an area of mental health. We have so much confusion and worry about that area today. I think we have situations that can be dealt with through stories to help people, bring them a little closer to understanding or accepting there are ways to deal with things that we need help with, and we can introduce them to those stories to the characters on the show. Every show starts with a question mark that gets answered by the end for the cast and the audience. That's my feeling. Yeah, and we can have toys for young people to do that with too. Yeah, that's why I like this.
Now, question. Every Star Trek episode, every series had a song, a melody that you can always recognize. Is that going to be the same for this, or will it be something that's really fantastic that you can be able to you'll think about years from now?
What a great great thought. I love music.
I know that we haven't been. I know that they're working on that. They have a music department and they have a scoring team. So we can't give you information on the music right now.
No.
I
have a lot of things I'd like to say.
He would like to say a lot of things, but we cannot disclose that information because we don't want to misinform.
Yeah, we have people I've known for years in the business and music business. They're excited. Famous rock people, who have gone matured even in their music. Some well-known, I can't name names, but they're everybody's excited. You know, they've got young people in their lives, grandkids or kids, and they're
all
they're into this.
generations.
All generation.
And if you want more information, you can go to www.StarTrekEquinox.com, and that way you will be able to see updates and
just give us try to give us a thumbs up, just a thumbs up on that website.
Yeah, we would like to connect with our fans. Yeah, thank you.
Before I go, one more thing. Will the McKenzies be involved?
The who?
FX.
Oh.
What's that?
What the?
McKenzie's the man himself. You ever watch Face Off?
Face Off?
Yeah, you ever watch Face Off on Sci-Fi Channel?
I've heard of it. I've seen
Okay,
it.
well, the McKenzie did all the special effects. Her dad.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah.
So you want? What your question is?
The question: Will he be involved? With, for the makeup?
We cannot talk about
There's
that.
too many legal things going on.
They're working on.
We hope everybody
wanted
can be
to-
involved. You know, this is good for possible development in so many ways to fit the regular family hour audience. You know, with creative stories and creative elements, music, all kinds of things.
Yeah, but we're not producers, so we're just actors working on this project. So I think that a producer will be able to answer that question.
That's why she's the captain. All right.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And I'm Roderick from Toy Masters Video Magazine here at Comic-Con.
Thank you.
Thank you.